Hi guys, this is Mark McRae from markmcrae.com, and here we speak about everything related to business. It's Friday, it's the end of the week, and once a week I want to try and do a recap of significant events, things that have happened during the week and lessons learned. And one of those things is controlling your team. So it's very easy if you have a creative team, particularly a large creative team, for people to want to go down their own rabbit holes. They come up with different ideas and concepts. They're convinced that that's the right way to go. And if you're not careful, that can get out of hand quickly. And also there's the temptation to try and get involved or to take over or to force your will on how everybody else thinks. But one of the biggest things that you can have in business, the leverage of a team. So if you try and do everything by yourself, you will obviously run out of hours. You know, professionals, people like doctors and lawyers and architects and accountants, they charge by the hour, so they sell their time. And that's why it's quite difficult to scale those particular professions, although it can be done, but as a one-man show, it's very hard. So you have to leverage your team. You have to trust them. You've got to give them the right tools and resources in order to complete the tasks. And the other thing is control. So in our companies, what we use, we have a lot of processes and procedures and tasks. We have a daily meeting that lasts about an hour, and that's usually from about 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. my time. We have people all around the world, so that's a time that works well for everybody. And everybody gets a chance to come on, talk about what they did the previous day, and also go over the tasks and run through their checklists. There are certain things that have to be done. So that lesson was just reinforced to me again and again. Be the general, not the soldier. You're the general. In order to take advantage of your leverage, the planning, the strategy, the direction is where you're going to find that biggest leverage. So your job as a leader is to, get direction and focus attention and make sure everybody's focused on that one direction. The other thing that came to mind, we were working on a deal this week. It was a medium-sized deal. And we were trying to put a deal together with some vendor finance and some bank finance and some of our own money. And the bank finance was becoming a problem. So we had a decision, should we put more of our own money into that particular project? Then it becomes a question of risk. So the more money you have, the less risk you should take. Now, I know a lot of people will tell you that, you should always push the frontiers, you should be constantly looking for different things. But on a scale of 1 to 10, when you have no money, it's a 10. Take as much risk as you like because you've got nothing to lose. The more money you have, the less risk you should take. So if you have $1 million or 5 or 10 or 100 million, you have to look at deals a lot more carefully, because where is the potential for risk then? Maybe the risk is in leases of properties. In this case, there's quite a few properties involved. It may be in intellectual property, IP risk, maybe in reputational risk. There's a lot of different types of risk. But the lesson that I learned today was from one of my partners, in as much as, what was the alternative for the seller? So we had been focused for a week on trying to be clever with money and finance and structures and how we could do it. But really, maybe what we should have been doing is looking at the seller's alternative. Because this was a niche market, there was limited opportunity for him to put it on the market and find a bigger audience to sell to. So if we had, and as we have, constructed a deal that is a lot more in our favor, but also doesn't unduly affect the seller, then that is a win-win situation. So that if the seller didn't do the deal, then there is no options for him, other than let the business wind down and then just dissolve. Or accept our option, which is a lot better proposition. But the original proposition changed entirely during the week when we became focused on what his alternatives were so that we could look at it from his point of view. So the big picture for both of those things, if you're, as a leader, remember you're the general, not the soldier or the sergeant. Try and look at it from the 10,000 feet view. When you're putting deals together, look at it from both sides, not just the one side. That's it for this week. Have a good weekend.